When I was around 10 years old, I fell in love with football. Football was literally everything I got. I would wake up, think about football. I would go to school, talk only about football with my friends, with my classmates. We would play FIFA on our phones. We would play the old school FIFAs back in the days. We would finish school, on the way home, talk about football. We would go home, watch football, play some more football. Then we would go out, play football on the field. It was awesome. It was literally my life. That's the only thing I thought about. That's the only thing I liked, and that's the only thing that kept me going. Fast forward a few years, I'm around 14 years old, and I start taking this shit really, really seriously. I start going on trials across the country. I start trying for different teams in my area. I went on a trial in the capital of our city to try and play in a really good team, not just in my local, my local team or the local area. And so I went on another trial for a college in the UK or something like this. And I went there for a few days. It was a really long trial. We had to pay for it. And I took it really, really seriously. And then the biggest decision of my life came when I was around 16, just about to turn 17 years old, when with a lot of negotiation, I decided to move to Germany, where my parents lived for a really long time at this point, around 5 or 6 years. So I decided to move there to finally pursue my goal really, really seriously and go all in on trying to become a professional footballer. I went there and COVID hit. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know the language. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing in a foreign country. I had no friends. My parents were still going to work. There wasn't a full lockdown, but we weren't going to school. And I hadn't even started school at this point. So I was really lost. I didn't know what to do. And so I started training. A few months into COVID, I started training. I decided to change decided to change my looks, decided to start taking my physique a little bit more seriously because I was really, really skinny at this point. I'll pop a picture right here so you can see what I mean. And so I started training, I started gaining a little bit of weight, putting on just a little bit of muscle so I can actually look presentable and I can actually feel good in my body. And then when I had the opportunity to play in a team finally, I went all in. I was playing every single weekend, training every single day, going to the gym, playing football, training twice per day while going to school, trying to learn the language and doing everything I could to become a professional footballer. And I didn't. 4 years I was in Germany. I went really, really high up the leagues. I was still playing amateur, but I just didn't make it. I was around 20 years old at this point when I decided that I have nothing more to do there. Even though I was still young, my goal started to shift because at this point I started posting content for about a year or something like this. I was posting content and I started really, really liking it. And you can imagine from someone who has been playing football their whole life and training and wanting to become a professional footballer, now all of a sudden wants to become a content creator. And you can imagine how tough it might feel for some people because this was literally everything you got, and now all of a sudden you have to start doing different things. You have to start learning new things, how to edit, how to film, how to talk on camera. And at this time I also started coding for some reason. I don't know why. I thought I would like it. I liked it, but it wasn't really my thing. But I really fell in love with content. I started having a job as well, and football never really went. I didn't really stop playing. I was playing, I was still trying to make it. But it felt like I was pushing myself. I was doing something which I didn't really want to do anymore. And a lot of people would say, you were still young at this point, you should have kept going. But I just felt like there was something more, there was something else that I wanted to do, something better. And so I took this seriously. I started posting really, really seriously a few times a day, recording, speaking to the camera, training, teaching people how to train, how to get in shape. And because also at the time I was extremely athletic, just like I am right now. I was always the most athletic in my team, I was always training, and so this is what my content was around. And then another big decision, and probably the biggest or the second biggest decision, because Germany really, really changed my life for the better. The second biggest decision of my life came when I decided to move back to Bulgaria and pursue content and also get a job so I can focus on creating content and not just play football the whole day and not being able to pursue this. So I got into a team here. We were only playing on the weekends. We are still only playing on the weekends, but in a different team. And I really took content creation seriously. I started posting, I started making a little bit more money. I got a job before that, so I moved here and I already had a job. And life just started hitting me, you know? You start working, you start pursuing something else. And now, I'm not even training football. I'm not training with a ball. If we go and have a kick around with our friends, or we have a tournament, or we have games on the weekends, we're playing. But it's not the same. It's not the same as training 6 times a week on your own and 3 more times or 4 more times with a team and taking it really seriously and wanting to become pro. I don't want to be a pro footballer anymore, even though football still has probably made me the person who I am today, and it's still a really big part of my life. I don't want to become a professional footballer. Does that mean I'm a failure now? No, not at all. I have a different team. I have different goals. My life is going in a different direction. And the most important thing is I'm becoming a better person every single day. Yes, I'm not a professional footballer. I didn't reach this goal. I couldn't achieve it. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Don't get me wrong. Go all in. Try. You have the time, you have the opportunities, you are young. Just go, try, go all in. But you also have to keep in mind that things might turn south, so you need to have a backup plan for sure. But don't think that you're a failure because your goals change. You can never fail. You always learn. Football has taught me so much that I don't even consider it a failure. I consider it success that I'm not a professional footballer, because it taught me so many different things, and I'm such a capable person now at 23 years old, only because of football and only because of my decision to move there, to move to Germany and to pursue becoming a professional footballer for 4 years. I learned a new language. I became a completely different person, completely different personality, completely different mindset, all because I pursued football. If it hadn't been for football, I wouldn't be the person I am now. I would be a complete jackass. I can tell you that. Then I would be a failure, because I would be drinking, I would be smoking, and I would be going to party every single night. I'm not doing that. I'm still locked in, I'm still focused. I have a different goal, different path, but the mindset is the most important thing. It has changed for the better. And so if you notice a goal change or a path change in your life, don't think that it's a bad thing. Listen to your inner thoughts. If you don't feel like you want to become a professional footballer anymore, or if you have a different goal, you want to be a fucking astronaut, just go and pursue it. But if you see and if you have the feeling that it's not going to work out, make sure you have a backup plan. Make sure they also do different things in the meantime, because you never know when your interests might change. But the most important thing is that you become a better person, that you improve every single day, and that you have an actual goal which you go towards. You never fail. You only learn by the experiences you have with certain things. And even though I'm only 23 years old, I've learned this the hard way, and it's probably for the better, because now I live in the village where everything started, in the stadium where everything started, and I see how people are here. They drink, they smoke, they gamble, they don't even have jobs. And so when you go and experience life and you go and pursue a goal for such a long time and you come back, you see how everyone else is in the exact same place, but you have changed. You are the better person now. You are the person who they want to become, only by pursuing a goal which they didn't have the balls to pursue in the first place. You never fail. You are not the failure. They are the failure. Continue striving. Keep on striving. Keep on trying to improve. Keep on trying to reach this goal. And He knows exactly what to do with your life, and He will benefit you. Just make sure you don't stop. Make sure you don't punish yourself for not reaching a certain goal. Just keep on going. Keep on having new goals, bigger, higher goals, with even more opportunity for you, and your life will change for the better.